Greetings, great people. We have been able to look through the levels of financial dependency in a previous video. That is from financial dependency as level number 1, financial solvency or self-sufficiency, self-survival or the breathing room, financial stability as level number 4, number 5 as financial comfort, and number 6, financial independency or financial freedom. Then finally, the financial abundance. Yes, these 7 levels, we can break them further and classify them as between the level 1 and level number 3. Those are the survival levels. The levels where you're just surviving. You're just, you're just there and surviving and in the rat race. The financial dependency, the financial survival, and the financial stability, and survival. You're just there and surviving. But once you're able to come out of those 3 and you join financial stability, then you start thriving. So the next 4, the financial abundance, the financial comfort, the financial independence, you are already thriving and doing better, and you can even do much better than the financial abundance. There you don't even talk of thriving. You are living the life. You are living the abundance life as really God intended you to. So within those three classifications, the survival and the thriving, then you're able to look through and see how can we move from one level to the other. We will be able to see what really can characterize, or you can look at and know that this is the level that I am in. In a previous video, we had highlighted on what are needs and what are want, and what is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. We will use those terms to be able to describe how it feels like to be in one of the specific levels. The third level, the financial survival or the breathing room, is this the level that you've just escaped from just getting enough, and you are in a place where you can survive and you're able to breathe. In this level, at least you can have something small that you can start the saving journey. And if you're to compare it with the climate, if you can compare it with the tropical climate of the Narok and the South Coast areas, like the Kwale areas, at least haijakauka sana. At least in as much as you are able now to at least compare that, and at this point, at least you are moving. You are able to feel you're moving you've just moved from the survival, and you've just moved from solvency and the insufficient. Now you are having something small on the side. And at this point, at least if it's a salary, your salary have increased a little bit. If it's a business, as if the business is able to make profit. And if it's and you are no longer now depending on other people. If you're to look at how this level compares to in terms of the food they eat, you realize that at least now you have a choice of the kind of food you eat. You'll eat the animals, you'll eat chicken, you'll eat fish, and you'll be able to eat like what you want, in as much as it might not be regular beside the other food. You might not have a choice of how it is prepared, but at least you have a choice now of the kind of food you eat, and you're able to eat well and eat a balanced diet. If it's the means of transport that you're using, at least now you're able to have fare. You can pay for your fare, you can pay for those PSV units, you can use a bus, you can use a matatu. You're able to have fare, and occasionally you're able to have to use a taxi and move from one place to another. And you have things now to do. You are not only depending, you have something to do. Then in terms of housing, this will be dependent on what the much that you are earning, and you're able to live in a decent house. Even like in Nairobi, you'll be able to live in a bedsitter. If you're up country, you're able now to move, to start building a small stone house, or if you build a house that is, you can build a house that is have stone, have timber, those semi-permanent houses. And if you can, you by now you are at least aware, you can even start building a big house slowly, and you're able now to think of how you can put a better house than what you're having when you're just in the other levels. Then in terms of clothing, you can now choose where to buy your clothing. You can at least even wear, my friends call them riganisha. You can go to the second-hand market and buy a used designer suits or a used designer clothes, and you'll be happy. And at least you can now choose to have occasionally wear designer clothes, and you'll be happy to be able to dress well. And at this point, at least you are aware there's need to match your clothes, there's need to iron your clothes and look generally presentable. You now care on what you wear. And in terms of safety and security needs, these people are now keen on getting secure and safe. They are keen on where they go and what they do that will endanger their safety. They're even keen on the kind of houses or in the kind of areas they live in. And at this point, we can look at their kind of love and belonging needs. These people have stronger relationships. They've been able to have friends who are able to to stick to them. And at this point, they're still growing their friendship, and they're able to keep tighter friendship, and they are keen on who now they are relating with. In terms of their self-esteem, these are the kind that they have started the journey on working on their self-esteem. At this point, you realize so many of the faking until you make it kind of attitude. But at least they are aware they need their esteem, and they are working towards their esteem. In terms of self-actualization, you will realize that they will now take time creating time for their talents, and they will even now spend a little bit of coins towards now budget. They will create a budget for their talent, and they will start creating time to practice on their talent so that they're able to arrive to self-actualization stage. At this point, they are aware of what they have been called to do, and they are aware to just find themselves and build on themselves. In terms of how their book looks like, they'll have an income that is just enough to meet their expenses, but a little and save just a little bit to be able to acquire some assets. But at this time, they might not have some assets. So what you realize, if it's like someone who is salaried, they'll start now getting the consumer loans. They'll be able now to go to the bank and ask for unsecured loans, of which they'll either use to consume or they'll use to buy some assets. So at this point, you realize they start acquiring liabilities. At this point, you need to be more careful so that you don't overcommit your salary or overcommit the small profit that you're getting from the businesses. So at this point, you need to be extremely very careful, learn information about how to get loans and what loans will actually help you so that you're able to build more assets. So that is the stage for financial, the stage where you at least can feel some warmth. Most people are in this stage. They're just in financial survival, and you start saving. And the best of the form is that now you have something small. You can start saving towards now acquiring the assets. Thank you. Looking forward to see you on the next video. And let's also tell our friends so that you're able now to grow together. Because as we keep now talking about these things, if we do it while we are together and we're working together, we'll be able to move out of these levels as one pack together, and we'll be able now to live as when we keep living together, we are accountable to each other. Thank you.